Happy New Year, everyone! For the first video this year, I'm going to do something repetitive, simple, and relaxing. When I filmed this, I wasn't feeling the best, so I wanted to keep things simple. Let's go straight to the colors. I'll be using Vermilion by Holbein, Yellow Ochre by Holbein, Terre Verte by Holbein, Indigo by Schmincke, and Chinese White by Holbein. This doodle would look really nice with extra gold shimmers and maybe with additional mediums. Like what I usually do, you can add some doodles with colored pencils, but personally I wasn't in the mood today for that, so I just kept things easy and simple. I want most of the colors to have a pastel tone, which is why I've added Chinese White in my color palette. You can create different hues and mix it with white in order to thicken the paint. Technically, of course, you can just use extra water in your paint mixtures to create lighter colors, but I find it a bit easier to control with the extra white pigment since the consistency can be a little bit thicker, so the paint won't rush out from your bristles too quickly. I started out with different green tones here, using Terre Verte as the main green with Chinese White. Then to change up the tone, I like to add maybe a little bit of indigo in the mixture, and for more of a yellow earthy green, I added some yellow ochre in the mix. To create soft pastel brown or maybe orangey tones, you can mix the vermilion and the yellow ochre and just play around with different ratios to create variations of different hues, but the colors will stay consistent with each other as long as you're mixing using this limited palette. You can make each leaf a different color, or you can combine a few colors within one leaf as well. Personally, I like to experiment a little bit just for fun, and to do this I find it's best to add a different color while the surface is still a little bit damp, so you can let the paint flow on their own. For the leaves, I've chosen to do these round ones, which I like to think of heart shapes when painting. This really helps in angling them so the bottom and the tip won't be wonky. You can also rotate your page around while doing this to make it a bit easier for your wrist or to visualize. Personally, I try to not rotate while making videos though, so it's just a little bit easier to see the position of the leaves as I'm painting and demonstrating to you guys. You can also create different leaf shapes if you want. I wanted to do these round ones because of the large surface area for the colors, but I will pair this up with other finer branches and leaves later on. Sorry for being almost off frame, but this is an example where I try to not use any white at all. You can see a little bit of a difference in the color, but when it dries, it will become a bit more pastel. To make the placement more natural, sometimes I like to overlap certain leaves together. And if you decide to do this, it's very important to wait for the parts where you're going to touch the leaves together to be completely dry, because if there are two different surfaces that you're touching together with different colors, the paint will just blend into each other, creating a mess, and the edges won't be clean. So while you wait for certain parts to dry, you can add other leaves, then you can go back to it and create an overlapped leaf behind the one that you originally painted. Now for the placement, I like to make the leaves closer together in a diagonal composition. Then as I get closer to the edges, I like to disperse them and give a bit more space in between the leaves. I like to also play around with the sizing ever so slightly to create different variations. All of these will just help to give more dynamic and movement to the composition and make it look more natural. So as you can see, I've painted a few leaves quite far apart. Then I can paint the overlapped leaves behind the ones I've already painted here with clean edges. I'm fairly happy with the amount of leaves I have so far. Next, I'm going to paint the stems, midrib, and the veins of the leaves. For the colors of these details, I tried to use a darker version of the same color or similar color as the leaf. At first, I tried to use a small round brush, but I felt like the bristles were a bit too short, so it didn't load enough paint, which means I have to keep reloading over and over again. The tips were also a bit frayed already, so the lines couldn't be as thin as I want them to be, which is why I decided to switch to the Dagger brush. I like that the bristles are fairly long and it comes to a very fine point. So if I use less pressure, I can paint these really thin lines. You can see it here. But if I put a bit more pressure or angle the brush slightly, I can also play with a thicker weight. The changes in weight makes the lines look more organic in my opinion, which is why I really love this brush. As for the colors, for the brown or the orangey leaves, I like to use a mix of vermilion and yellow ochre. Sometimes I like to mix in a bit of indigo as well if I want to mute the color. And for the greens, I'm probably just going to use Terre Verde with indigo or Terre Verde with indigo and yellow ochre and play with the ratio. All these are painted without any Chinese white mixed into the colors, so they're definitely a darker value compared to the base. I'm also using a medium to thick consistency for this. To help the leaves look more organic, I like to curve the stems sometimes, so it's not just jutting out straight out of the leaf. This will give a softness to the composition as well. Also at the tip of the stems, I like to give a little thickness. This is to suggest where the stems were connected to a larger branch. Once I'm done adding the details, I decided to add some darker leaves. I'm still using a light consistency though, so they will dry a little bit lighter. I'm also going to add random dots just for fun in some areas where I feel the space needs to be filled. Once I'm done adding the details to the additional leaves, I decided to go over the thick part of the stem a little bit more for extra definition. Next, I'm going to add a different element, and this time I'm going to add some fine branches to complement the rounded leaves. For this, I'm using my dagger brush. I'm going to paint a few long main branches, which will have finer ones at the tips. Then I'm going to finish off with some dots. As for the color, because I want this to look very delicate and fine, I decided to use a really thick consistency of indigo with a bit of vermilion, so it will still stand out. I'm just going to spread them in between the leaves, and if I were to add gold, this is actually a really good opportunity to add them. I would just alternate between those two colors for the branches. Okay, so now once I've added these branches, I feel like the composition looks a bit too dispersed because of the fine delicate lines I can see everywhere. This is why I decided to add circles in between the leaves to bring our eyes towards the center of the composition. I'm quite happy with how the composition is progressing. However, I felt like adding another texture or introducing another element. So after adding the blobs or these circles, I'm going to add some green ferns popping in between the leaves as well. I still want the rounded leaves to be the main element of this composition, so I'm just limiting the amount of ferns that I add in. Lastly though, I felt like the composition was looking a bit flat because of all the light colored leaf, so I'm going to add some darker values to separate some of the overlapped leaves. I know this doesn't look like shadows, but it was the idea behind it, but I just simplified it by creating a line following the curvature of the leaves. I felt like I'm almost done, but I felt like there are some spaces I still feel need to be filled up. So I'm just going to add these dots, and that's basically it for this doodle. I personally enjoy this type of repetitive painting. It's just very relaxing to me. Again, you can also add some gold shimmers, but I felt like there was enough going on here. And yeah, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing for more videos every Friday. Like usual, the list of tools as well as my social media links will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!